Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Let's get started. Our first one comes from Educational West 102. Am I the beehole for calling my daughter-in-law's parents deadbeats and not stepping down in my place at her wedding? When my son, Josh, was 16, he and his girlfriend, Chol, told my wife and I that they were expecting a baby. We were reasonably concerned and upset, but supported the two in whatever they wanted to do. They decided that they wanted to keep the baby. Chol's parents were not supportive at all and kicked her out of the house. We had her move in with us. My wife and I developed a close bond with her as we helped her prepare for the baby. After the birth of their daughter, Bryn, Chol and Josh lived with us until they were 22. As they were so young, we really helped a lot those first few years as they got their GEDs, went to trade school, etc., etc. It was not an easy road in the slightest, but it made us all closer. I consider Chol a daughter I never had. They are now 25 and Bryn is 9. Last year, Chol's parents got in contact with her and said they were sorry. They wanted to be in their lives, etc. Josh and Chol chose to hesitantly let them in their daughter's life. They have definitely played the part of overcompensating grandparents who try to pretend no time has passed. Bryn is healthy, safe, and loved. That's all that matters. They have been standoffish with my wife and I feel they are jealous and maybe insecure when it comes to how close we are to Chol and Bryn. We've tried to arrange for times to talk, outings where all four of us can be with Bryn, etc. They always rebuff. So, we've settled to be polite and kind and getting along with them for Bryn slash Chol and Josh's benefit. Chol and Josh have recently announced they're getting married. She asked me to walk her down the aisle. She explained that while her dad is too, she'd love to have her other dad with her. I was touched. She called me Papa Sam for a while now, and my wife, Mama Carol, but I still didn't expect this. I accepted. Now, Chol's dad is refusing to walk her down the aisle because I will. He says that I'm encroaching on a precious moment between him and his daughter. I said, so as long as Chol wants me to walk her, I will. Chol has said she doesn't want me to step down, but also wants her dad there. I've said I'll support whatever she wants. She remained firm that she wants to try to find a way to get her dad on board, so we'll both walk her. Chol's mom said I should step down because of course Chol won't ask me to. I made the comment about how I'd just be as much as a deadbeat as they were for so long. This pissed her and her husband off. My wife feels that I fuel this drama and I should just step down, so Chol can have both her parents there. I said until Chol asks me to step down, I won't. Am I the beehole? Hi OP, I do not believe you are the beehole. Like you said, Chol wants you there and she asked you to be there and to do that. And I agree with you. Unless she says for you to step down, then I wouldn't step down. Personally, if I were Chol, I would keep you over her biological father, because like you said in the story, her parents weren't there when she needed her. They don't get to come back and act like nothing's ever happened and everything's fine and they were the doting parents who were there for all of her hard times and struggles. No, as far as I'm concerned, if I was in Chol's shoes, you guys would be my parents. Chol's biological father needs to get with the program and just walk, with you and Chol down the aisle. I also love how the wife says that, oh, you should step down. Of course she's going to suggest that. She's just as big as a pile as her husband was. It's crazy the audacity people have. You weren't there for years of your daughter's life, and then you want to come back and dictate things like you were a good person. Now, OP, do what Chol says. If she wants you there, you do it. If she wants you to step down, then yeah, step down. It sucks, but from what it sounds like, Chol's a good kid, and she won't, do something like that. I hope you guys can figure out a way to resolve this problem. And our next one comes from Nearby Project 8708. Am I the beehole for telling my coworker I won't watch her kids? I, a 28-year-old female, work in an office setting, but I occasionally travel for work. On these occasions, I always bring my girlfriend, Sadie, a 32-year-old female, with me, and we make it a mini vacation. I would say I travel maybe 9 times a year. And each time is maybe for 5 to 10 days. The company I work for pays for travel, living, and food expenses. Anything I don't use is paid out, but with the two of us, we easily use it all. I should also note, I've been with this company for nearly 10 years, did some schooling through them, and worked hard for my position. I have a coworker, a 36-year-old female, Sue, who is a mom of 4 kids under the age of 8. Sue has been with the same company for 15 years. And as long as I've known her, I've only considered her an acquaintance. She often gives me grief about how not having kids and how I'm lucky. The issue happened a few days ago when I rejected a travel job and Sue begged my boss to let her try. He caved because it was an emergency and I had already scheduled off for Thanksgiving. Sue made all of her arrangements and asked if I could watch her kids for the week she's gone. I told her no. Sorry, I'm breaking reading because holy hell, who asked someone to watch their kids who's an acquaintance? That is, you know what, back to the story. Sorry. Because I'll be traveling, and she told me this will be a great way for me to experience the joy of having children. I told her no. I do not want to watch her kids because I enjoy my kid-free life and I refuse to travel with kids. We went back and forth a bit before I told her to stop asking me because my decision is final and I won't compromise Sadie's trip. Just because she got a wild hair up her posterior to do something she's not nearly qualified enough to do. I did not tell her the last part. I just said I don't want to compromise Sadie's trip because she's hosting with her mom. From the grapevine, I heard her husband drove their kids an hour to her parents' house before leaving. A few of my coworkers are saying that I was very cold for not helping her out since she only wanted to experience what I do. What the sorry. My boss thinks I'm in the right because I shouldn't compromise the PTO I've placed in advance. Months ago for something she planned less than a week ago. Sadie is 50-50, saying she understands that Sue gets under my skin often, but we could have done the trip with them and survived? Am I the beehole? Edit. The reason Sue's husband didn't take the kids is because she invited him to go on the trip with her. He's actually a pretty cool guy, even though I've only met him a half dozen times. Okay, finally got to the end of reading that one. Sorry for the little outbursts during the story. But this is insane. Oh, and you're not the beehole, OP. That your coworker and coworkers are the beehole in this one. Your boss is cool though. That also sucks. Your girl doesn't. Well, she kind of has your back. She's 50-50. Why is she 50-50? Why are your people in the story acting like this is not insane? A person who you're acquainted with is asking you to watch their children for, I assume, like, what you said, 8, 10 days, whatever, something like that. She doesn't know you. She's giving her children and slash trusting her children to essentially a stranger. Holy heck. I'm not saying anything's wrong with you, OP, but she doesn't know. Your house could be like a dungeon or something. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying she doesn't know you like that. Also, you should have told those coworkers that they could do it. They could watch her kids. I mean, it seems like you guys are all on the same, they're on the same level with her acquaintances. Heck, she might actually be friends with some of them. They should step up and watch her kids instead of going after you like that. But OP, those are not your kids. It's not your circus. Like you said, you have no children. You have a child-free life for a reason. You are not obligated and you shouldn't have to watch someone else's children because they want to go on a trip. And you're going on a trip. I'm sorry. I'm getting heated again. They want you to travel with kids you've never really, hung out with before, and so you don't know if they're rude or good kids, and travel with them. Do you know how hard it is to travel with a kid and they're below 8? Oh boy. Jeez, that is insane. OP, you did the right thing. Do not watch those people's kids. It sounds like you're not because their husband took them to, an hour away to, well, I don't know, parents' house or something. That is insane. You were not wrong. Do not cave to these people. That is nuts. And the next one comes from No Poetry's 7930. Am I the beehole for uninviting my oldest daughter to Christmas over Santa? I, a 43-year-old female, have children with a very large age gaps. My oldest is 25, that I had with an high school ex. Then we separated and I married my husband much later. My younger two are 9 and 7. My younger children believe in Santa, while my daughter's son doesn't. She raised him not with the same Santa magic, which is perfectly okay. I just rather not have it ruined for my children, who do believe in Santa. I was having Christmas at my house, and I asked my daughter if she'd please talk to her son, because I wouldn't like the magic ruined for them. I still put the packages under the tree with "From Santa" on them, and leave out cookies and reindeer treats, bird seeds. My daughter told us she wouldn't make her son lie, and my children are old enough to understand if their son decides to say something. I told her if she wouldn't talk to her son, they could spend Christmas at their apartment. My daughter didn't like that and said I was choosing my younger children's happiness over hers, and that I was being completely unreasonable. My husband supports me, but thinks I might have been a little too high strung as our children are getting older. I just want to keep the Christmas magic alive. Am I the beehole? I'm gonna say no, OP. I know my parents let us believe for a long time. Heck, there was even one night where I almost caught them, which was going to be them, but I was too scared to get up. Yeah, it sounds like your daughter's just kind of being mean. And that's cool that she wants to raise her kid without, not believing in Santa or anything like that. But yeah, I agree. Don't ruin it for the other little kids. Come on. And that whole part where you're prioritizing the little kids over her, I mean, yeah, she's a grown woman with a kid and I assume a husband, and so she has a family. And yeah, you're going to prioritize the little kids over your grown horse of a child. I don't know where she's coming from with that. And I also think she's kind of cruel over here trying to ruin things for little kids. Honestly, I agree with you. Keep the magic going. It's fun. You don't get a lot of enjoyable things like that in this world nowadays, or at all. So yeah, ride that train until the wheels fall off. Our next one comes from WrongNet5989. Am I the beehole for eating at the children I babysit for's house? I, a 20-year-old female, babysit for some extra cash on the side. This just happened, and it's eating me up. So, here we go. So, the family ordered pizza for dinner. Mom left cash on the table for me to pay. It was me and two boys, 7 and 10. Large cheese pizza and breadsticks. I have always been under the impression that the babysitter is allowed to have a reasonable amount of dinner if they're expected to serve dinner. I've always babysat a few times in the past and never encountered this. When the parents came home to relieve me, they asked how the night went. I said fine, and said the pizza was really good, as I've never ordered from them before. Mom looked puzzled at me, and asked why I ate the kids' dinner. I said I just had 2 pieces of pizza and a breadstick. I feel as if this was not an inappropriate amount to eat. However, the parents disagreed. Dad said they didn't expect to have to feed me dinner as well, and told me not to eat their family's food. Overall, I'm very uncomfortable and confused by this experience. Both boys were fed and did not complain about being hungry for the rest of the night. I personally have always assumed, perhaps wrongly, that I'm expected to serve dinner as a sitter, then I'm welcome to have a serving. Is this something anyone else has experienced? Am I the beehole? Hi, OP. I'm gonna say you're not the beehole, because I'm thinking if I was in your same position, I'd be like, well, it's pizza. Pizza's meant to be shared. So yeah, I'm gonna have a slice. 2 is probably the most acceptable too, I'd agree. Personally, it would be hard for me not to take more. But I don't babysit a lot. Heck, I've only babysitted once, and yeah, they ordered pizza, breadsticks, and wings, and I ate. They didn't give me any problems. They know I ate, so I would assume the same thing you assumed, OP, and I would have eaten too, so I'm kind of with you on this. And like you said in the story, it's not like the kids are going hungry, and it's pizza. Pizza's meant to be shared. Same thing with breadsticks. That's why the bread comes in stick form. But yeah, I don't know what the parents' deal is. If I were you, I'd consider not babysitting for them again. They seem like they're going to be a headache and slash give you problems. Just think about it. And our next one comes from the Scarlet Witch. Am I the beehole for telling my sister that attending her play would be inappropriate? My, a 32-year-old female, sister, a 26-year-old female, is an aspiring actress and part of the theater group that performs some edgy, experimental plays. Many of those plays feature extensive nudity of the cast, including the one she's currently on. She offered a pair of tickets for the premiere to me and my husband, a 34-year-old male, and I made an excuse that we couldn't attend that day. The truth is, the idea of my husband watching my sister, his sister-in-law, naked on stage makes me and him uncomfortable. So, when she kept offering us tickets for the future performances, it came to a point where I had to be honest. And I told her I think it's inappropriate for us to attend. She took it as if I was implying that her work is inappropriate. It took me a while to explain her this is not what I meant. Even so, she says she's proud of the work she's doing and she wanted to share it with us because we mean a lot to her. Now I'm feeling like a huge beehole. Yeah, this is kind of an awkward one. I get it. I get where you guys are coming from. Your husband and you don't want to see it. I don't want to see my siblings naked. I get that. Plus I'm not really one for the theater or movie theater. I'm gonna go with you're not the beehole. I think you could have handled it a little bit better and made the no a little bit more gentle, but you have a good reason for not wanting to go. So yeah, not the beehole on this one. And our final one comes from OK Honeydew 2966. Am I the beehole for not telling my wife that my sister died? My 35-year-old male sister died 3 weeks ago. My wife had only met her once since she lived quite far away, and every time I wanted to see her, my wife didn't come. My dad told me that she died and told me when her funeral was. I traveled down for the funeral and I told my wife I was going to see my sister, which wasn't really a lie. A few days after I got back home, my brother called my wife and told her to check up on me, since I hadn't been answering his calls and texts. I guess she asked why he was so worried, and my brother told her about my sister dying. My wife got really upset at me for not telling her, and she said that I can't trust her, and that I should talk to her instead of bottling up my feelings. I explained that I didn't tell her because I knew she'd worry and expect me to talk to her about how I feel. It's very sweet of her for worrying about me, but she doesn't need to. It's like she doesn't understand that I don't talk about how I feel, unlike her. She's barely spoken to me since. She said that she feels betrayed. I didn't mean to upset her so much. I just don't want to deal with her constant worrying. Am I the beehole? Hi, OP. I'm gonna go with you're slightly the beehole, because your sister died and we all grieve in different ways. But yeah, you should have told your wife. I don't know why you didn't do that. That's such a big thing that happened in your life and your family's life. I know me and my family don't get along, and I'd rather never see those people again, but we do find ways to tell each other when someone dies. So I don't understand. I still don't understand why you didn't tell her. Why didn't you tell her? I mean, I get that you don't want her worrying about you, but it's gotten much worse, right? Honestly, yeah, you should have told her. You should have just told your wife. This shouldn't have even been a story, because this is an easy one to fix and to avoid. Just tell her. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.